Russia is in panic, Ukraine is in panic, and NATO doesn't do anything. Let's start from the beginning. And for that, I'm going to take you for a long ride back to 2014. Following the impeachment of the former president of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, the Russian forces began the special operation on the east of Ukraine and started to capturing land a little by little. From that day, 8 years have passed, and nothing has changed except more problems became visible. On the 24th of February, the lives of every Ukrainian changed forever. The Russian missiles hit every major city, the Russian troops crossed the borders and began a full-on invasion. And now for more than 6 months, Ukraine is trying to fight off the Russian invasion, and the problems doesn't really seem to end. But all of that is a very long story. I'm just going to tell you what happened during this week. On 21st of September, the Russian President Vladimir Putin announced partial mobilization, which led to a lot of people trying to flee the country, which became a real problem, and now everyone is panicking everywhere around the world. In his speech, he talked a lot about the capitalism as well as some Nazi stuff. Well, that's what everyone expects from him, the usual. But the main point of his speech was actually announcing the partial mobilization of the Russian army, which means that a lot, and I mean a lot of people are going to get called into the military and are going to die for, I wouldn't say it's a good cause. So, as a result of that, a lot of Russians are trying to flee the country before the conscription laws take place. And because every other country in the world is against Russia, they are not really taking Russian citizens. So, the only way of them running is actually through Finland, which is also making a lot of problems along the way. And there are like 30 kilometers queues to the border to try to leave it, and not everyone gets through. But I mean, all of the Russians will survive that because they survive in the -50 in Siberia, so I don't think a little waiting will kill them, unfortunately. So, what does all of that mean for Ukraine? From the beginning of the war, Ukraine wasn't trying to take any of the other land, they were just trying to survive. They are still trying to survive. They even made some counterattack with the help of the US and all of the European Union and NATO and stuff. But with the new conscription laws in Russia, I don't think that will be that easy. Because by the Wikipedia dates that you can see on their website, I wouldn't really trust that, but well, we have what we have, and they say that Russians have the 1 million men in their reserves, which means that partial mobilization calls like about a half of them. As a result of all of that stuff, hashtag Russia is trending on Twitter. Well, I mean, no one is really surprised because Twitter is just like this huge magnet that pulls together all of the bad shit that is going on in the world and makes it trending and makes it popular. And like, well, I mean, that's Twitter. It's always been like that. And then there is a lot of news from quote unquote Russian experts who say that Russia is sending some of the most dangerous weapons and tanks to Ukraine. But the thing is that with that grammar, I'm not sure that it's going to get very far. And by announcing the partial mobilization, Putin actually confirmed that that's not some kind of special operation going on in Ukraine, but that's actually a full on war. And yeah, I don't know where that is going to lead, but I guess we are going to live and see. My heart goes to every single one of the Ukrainian soldiers that is trying to keep the border where it is supposed to be. You are amazing guys, and I hope that you keep up the great work because you are the people that this world really needs. And I'm sure that you will win because you are fighting for what is right and not for some crazy lunacy of an old guy who has too much power. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for today's story, so see you in the next one.